Hey everybody, Lieutenant PK here. Today I'll be taking a question from one of our viewers dealing with eyewitness identifications. Is it ever okay to show a victim or a witness a single photo in order to identify a suspect? Here's the short answer: yes, it is, but only if you can articulate that there's a very low probability of a misidentification. You have to be careful showing a victim or witness only one photo, because if you do it in the wrong set of circumstances, you could irreparably damage the case. It could taint subsequent identifications, say in court. And if you relied on that information to obtain, say, a search warrant or additional evidence, you could potentially lose that. Just to be clear, the courts have consistently ruled that showing a single photograph is unduly suggestive. I know that sounds bad, but that doesn't mean we can't do it. The test for whether a suggestive identification procedure should be excluded has two prongs to it. Number one, did the police employ an unnecessarily suggestive procedure in obtaining an out-of-court identification? And as we just said, showing a single photo does classify as that. And number two, if so, considering all of the circumstances, did the suggestive procedure give rise to a substantial likelihood of irreparable misidentification? So although showing a single photo is certainly suggestive, if you can show based on all the facts and circumstances that it wasn't likely to cause a misidentification, then it's a go. Let's go through some examples and I'll show you what I mean. Let's say you get called to investigate a retail theft. The clerk tells you that while she was helping other customers, a white male in his 20s grabbed a case of beer and ran out the front door. He jumped into a white car outside, and she managed to jot down the tag number before he could drive away. When you run the tag number and look at the DL photo of the owner, he matches the general description given by the clerk. Should you show a single photo in this case? Definitely not. A defense attorney could easily argue that given the facts and circumstances of this case, showing a single photo definitely gave rise to the substantial likelihood of irreparable misidentification. The correct thing to do in this case would be to do a photo pack or photo array. Let's do another one. Let's say you respond to a battery call. The victim tells you that the suspect is his neighbor of 12 years. They got into an argument in the street, and the neighbor pushed him down and then fled the scene. He said that he sees the neighbor on a daily basis, has spoken to him dozens of times face-to-face, but doesn't know his name. You find out a possible name through other resources, and you pull up a picture. Is it okay to show the victim that picture so you can confirm that you're talking about the same person? Yes. Even though our victim doesn't know the suspect's name, he knows him, and there's almost no chance of a misidentification. Let's take a look at our retail theft case again. That's the one where the white male ran out with the case of beer. Let's say we talked to the clerk and she said she's worked at the store for 6 months and the white male is a regular customer. She waits on him 3 to 4 times a week, seeing him an average of 5 to 10 minutes each time, and speaks to him face to face. Do you think that a single photo would be appropriate in that case? Yes, you could show a single photo in these facts and circumstances because it's very unlikely that the clerk's going to make a misidentification. I can tell you from experience that if you make an identification based on a single photo, especially in a very significant case, you can expect to have it challenged by the defense. The key here is to be able to articulate how it was very unlikely that there would be a misidentification by showing a single photo, and you do that with details. For example, if you were writing a report about our battery scenario, you wouldn't just say the suspect is the victim's neighbor. That wouldn't be enough. You'd want to include all of those other details that I was careful to mention during the scenario. Finally, if you're ever questioned about what your legal basis was for relying on a single photo to identify the suspect, I recommend citing this Florida Supreme Court case, Simmons versus State from 2006. The Florida Supreme Court does a very nice job, in my opinion, in laying out the requirements to show a single photo. They also include plenty of other citations to other pertinent cases to support that, including some from the United States Supreme Court. Well, that's it for today. Until next time, stay safe.